Thames Television, 149 Tottenham Court Road, London, W1P 9LL.
Your final moment has come. Prepare to meet thy doom. Ah!
Angelo, where did this weirdo come from?
I'll ask him. Brett, where are you from?
Not him! Don't you play the giddy goat with me, my friend. You're gonna have to get rid of him, like, quick.
Oh, this is the living end. I swear it is. Will somebody get this thing off my toes?
Television is about telling story through pictures rather than through words alone.
We're looking for a way of telling a story in a humorous way. When Grant and I come to work, we come down to this little office. We can dream up the craziest situations and make up funny stories. Sometimes we come in here and we haven't got any ideas, so we flick open a book. Often we come in here and we don't have any ideas.
We've got no ideas.
We can pick a book and flick it open and we might see something that catches our imagination. The idea behind Michelangelo was to do a comedy drama show that was set inside somebody's house.
The same way as I'll get it out with this. The Angelo patent-pending marvellous molecule mixer.
The hardest part of writing an episode is coming up with the idea, and really the first part of writing is thinking. We do this process called brainstorming, where we fire ideas at each other until maybe one of the ideas catches light and the other says, hey, yeah, you've got something there, let's go with that. Shrunk it, yeah, that's good.
Something like that. He's built a machine. But when we hit upon an idea that we do like, then we start developing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's some invention that, like, can suck the car into it. There's no point in starting to write a script if you don't know what the middle and the end is. If you can sort out the whole scheme of the episode in a brief series of notes, what happens, this happens, and this happens, and then we resolve it, and then we can start thinking about writing the script itself. There are times, of course, when we just get totally stuck.
We have been known to sit all day trying to solve a particular problem and have got absolutely nowhere. Surprisingly, sometimes the next day it just seems so simple, the idea just falls into place. The episode of Michelangelo, which we called The Warrior, came about because on television there were several programmes about virtual reality. With new technology, you could actually enter the world of the computer and participate in the game in a more exciting way.
We thought it would be rather fun if things went wrong. So what we have, therefore, is a computer-generated warrior coming storming out of the cabinet and running riot round the house. It's very important to know who the characters that you're writing for are, because if you really know them, then you know how they'll react under any given situation.
Brett is an excellent person to use because he's the complete opposite of the warrior, and he's so spineless and cowardly.
Brett, just a weeny bit over the top.
You don't understand. There. Him, there, that, with the, and the, oh, what am I going to do, Reed?
Where is the louse who dares to challenge the might of Thor?
Who would be the least likely member of the household to challenge this huge warrior? How about Ellie, the girl?
We look for things that would make us laugh.
I really recommend writing in partnerships, especially in comedy. You can try the ideas out at once, and if Lee laughs, then I know it's funny. And if I laugh, we know that what Lee said is funny.
Most of the time it's hard work, but a lot of the time it's fun.
Nostrils plucked and all, pal.
I have you, challenger.
Oh, hey!
Your final moment has come. Prepare to meet thy doom.
At the read-through, we effectively hand our creation over to the actors, to the director. It's quite nerve-wracking because we always have at the back of our minds the thought that, well, maybe it isn't funny.
Where are you? We need you. Angelo!
We missed it.
What?
The post. Why are you sitting on the table, Rita?
Angelo, it's fantastic.
You can actually sum it up by saying it comes to life. And that's an exciting thing to see, you know, a script which is just, after all, you know, 60 pieces of paper actually come to life is sometimes quite wonderful.
No, don't tell me. Get it out, Angelo. Get it out now. There's always something similar in a character you play, which is why a particular character appeals to you. Rita is more flamboyant in a way than I am. She's quicker to leap at a suggestion, quicker to get thrown off kilter.
You keep away. Look what I've got for you. The Angelo patent-pending automatic nostril hair plucker.
Very difficult to talk about Angelo. He's very childlike, but he's not childish. I think that's probably the best way of describing him. And he's a lot of fun, and he's quite insane.
Angelo, there's a car in here.
Oh, don't tell me he's postponed your trip to the fun park.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
He's cancelled it.
What?
Ellie is like me. She's happy and easygoing. And she's very boisterous. But I must admit, she's also very daring.
Right, you're going to have to outsmart him, Ellie. This is a battle of wits.
Oh, you're a big help, thanks! The way I learn my lines, I just, I underline them, and that gives me some clues in my head. As I underline, I can read the words and memorize it and just keep going over it and keep going over it until I've got it in my mind.
Yeah. We repeat it, and every time you repeat it, the lines are going in. And every time you repeat it, the moves are going in. And every time you repeat it, a new little bit of business comes to you. You say, oh, Nev, what if I did this? What if I did that? And I mean, that's the best thing about rehearsal. And that's when it becomes creative. Where did that weirdo come from?
I'll ask him. Brett, where are you from, mate?
Not him! Don't play the giddy goat with me, my friend. Get rid of him like now. There is a secret to good comedy. And I think the secret is, in something like this, the comedy comes out of the situation that people find themselves in. If you try and react as you would react if you came and found a car in your kitchen, that is going to be funny.
It needed washing, so I thought I'd... and then the rain came on, so I brought her indoors.
But how did you get it in? No, don't tell me. Just get it out, Angelo. Just get it out now!
Now what have I done?
Things like double takes, where you come into a room and you see something, and then you think, did I see that? So you look again. You look at it and you think, no, I didn't see it. And you look again. And those type of things are, technical things that sometimes you do well and sometimes you don't do well. But I mean, they're useful because an audience sees the thought. An audience sees you going, did I see that? And they think, yes, he did. Aha. And he looks again. So that becomes comic. And again, the use of language. If you get stuck, if somebody gets stuck on a word because they're so overcome with the situation, like, I didn't do it that way, then that becomes comic because the language is using them.
You just finished off your filing shop, okay?
As the director of Michelangelo, the most important part of my job is to make a program which is enjoyable.
Ellie! You did it! You are a genius!
When I read each script, I have to imagine how the words and ideas are going to come alive in a humorous way. During rehearsals, I work with the actors to develop the funny moments.
Would you mind clearing this out of what's left of my kitchen?
I try and make Thor a funny character. He's not... I've got to stop him as a director being too terrifying because he has to be a comic figure.
Prepare to die!
I work with him in rehearsals to give him some failures. So he stumbles around a bit, he bumps into furniture. Filming Michelangelo in a studio gives it a certain sitcom feel. It also allows a lot of special effects to be created, which add to the comedy.
This is a recording. Action.
I don't see that.
Well, it needed washing. So I thought I'd... and then the rain came on. So I brought it indoors.
Angelo, how did you get it in? Oh, no, no, no. Don't tell me. Just get it out. Now, Angelo, now.
Oh, now what have I done? Aha, the same way as I'll get it out. With this. The Angelo patent-pending marvellous molecule mixer stroke matter mover. Now, stand back. I'll keep it safe in here till the rain goes off. Neat, eh?
Oh, you're a hoot, Angelo.
Are you open for smoking?
Oh, you black tapped them, so it's...
Sorry?
Keep going, keep going.
Where is the louse who dares to challenge the might of Thor? Where?
Look, chum, couldn't we discuss this over a beer?
Me too, then.
We'll reset again, put another one in. Do you want to get the feature?
No.
Action.
Who is a challenger who will duel to the death with the mighty Thor? Whose brutal hammer smashes through flesh and bone in a fearsome fight to the finish?
Not me, Bob.
Okay, just keep the lights going. Way first, bomb. Look as Alman brings it back.
Action.
Now just hang on there.
The car would appear above the warrior's head and then go wham!
Lose it now.
Ellie, are you all right?
Ellie, clonk him with the car. Oh, brilliant! The winner! Action. And I promise, Rita, I'll never do anything wrong. Ever again.
Oh, Angelo.
And stop. Thank you.